Hello everyone and welcome back to Kickstarter in the current year, where today's video might be a controversial one, it might be a spicy one, because it's an AI project which has parts of it that I don't wholly despise. You know, you can tell the end times are coming when Walter K is out here saying maybe some AI project aspects can be okay. Because today's project isn't like wholly generated with AI, but it covers the topic and it's relevant to gaming. So steel yourself, as I will be looking at this project genuinely with a little bit less snark than I usually probably do. I actually want to go through this and point out the parts of this project that I like, that I think this, despite being an AI project, what I think they do well, and why I still think it's kind of bad and not really worth the money. The project is called RPG Me. Create and gift a personalized retro RPG adventure. This is a project which is asking for $20,000. It has set its 60-day goal, so it's hard to say whether or not it's going to get that amount of money, but currently it has 56 backers, and it might get there, right? I think the best way to, of course, explain what exactly is going on here, which, I mean, maybe you can kind of guess from the name and the description and the picture and everything else exactly just what this is all about. I don't know why Aaron Yeager is up there in the thumbnail, but we're gonna be watching the video and then let's see what it's all about. Let's dive right in. Gonna be such a sick transition when I do that.
Hey, hon, have you seen...
Did you realize our 5-year anniversary is next week?
How could I forget?
Does anyone ever use the I'm feeling lucky button? I mean, Google kind of sucks now, so maybe that's more efficient than just Googling things, but that has nothing to do with the project, I'm just asking. Yeah, the part that I don't like about this video is how abysmally millennial it is. You can't go 20 seconds into the video without putting a meme in, so put 3 memes in there. Where the hell did Neon Cat cross the screen? What the hell does Neon Cat have to do with anything?
Rufus!
That poor dog, he didn't do anything. Not only did it not consent to being in the video, now you're gonna, accuse it of being a fart machine? And put it in your game? That's messed up. So yeah, the concept is, of course, that you input a bunch of individual data points about your partner, your spouse, or just a friend you want to make a video game about, or yourself, obviously. You input these little data points, and then the AI reinterprets all that into an RPG story. This is the part where I started to get a little bit controversial, which is the fact that I am not immediately opposed to the idea. I think that as far as the use of AI goes, this is basically fine. I used to mess around with AI Dungeon back in the day, and I know for a fact that a lot of people did mess around with AI Dungeon, just like a lot of people mess around with the more primitive AI image generation stuff, like this person does not exist, this cat does not exist, whatever, and had a good time with it. It's just that it sort of became a little bit more taboo, a little bit more, I don't really want to deal with that, considering the implications of what AI is actually capable of now. But there's a lot about this side of it that makes it kind of acceptable. One, the biggest problem with, well, not quite the biggest problem, but a huge problem that a lot of people have with AI when it comes to generative image AI is that it takes other people's work and steals their work and uses that as the data for their creation. But I will preemptively say that at the bottom of this page, in the use of AI section, the project creators have said that, well, they're not actually using any publicly accessible data. They're not using images from the internet for all the pixel art. the pixel art is going to be generated by the AI using the previously made art, pixel art, and all that from the artists that are in the team. So that sort of eliminates one huge problem, and I think if that sort of thing becomes standard practice in the future, this has some potential. I love these procedurally generated games. I mean, they've been a huge thing for a long time. Nobody's yelling at Minecraft for being procedurally generated. Nobody's upset at Dwarf Fortress for being procedurally generated, just that there's some human work behind it. And I think if you could implement AI into this procedural generation effectively, you can make some really dope games. Like, I could imagine a lot of games that exist now or would be made now with this technology, once it gets good enough, could be as in-depth as Dwarf Fortress is, which in turn would mean that Dwarf Fortress would be insanely in-depth, like to a ridiculous degree, and that would be quite wonderful to me, at least, personally. However, do I think that technology exists now? No, not really, I really don't. I don't think the project creators here either think that it really exists, but I do, and I don't even think that necessarily the way that they're put together this advertisement is intentionally making it seem like the technology is there for something that in-depth and intense. I just kind of suspect that quite a few people probably back this project thinking it will be more in-depth than what it's definitely going to be, because current models for these whole story building things, they're still very limited. They might confuse some characters, some aspects of those characters, some personality traits. They'll just add in their own and forget others. All of these things which are, AI Dungeon, which I haven't used in ages, but I've checked, and then obviously it has a pretty significant limit to how much it can remember, how much data it can consider before it gets a bit too much. Same goes for, like Novel AI or any other service that does this sort of thing. But I kind of suspect I understand how this whole thing works, because watching this video, you probably noticed that all of these little prompts that this person inputs about their partner, about Emily, that ends up in these separate, disjointed, random scenes. At the beginning, they're in a house and their dog farts and he dies. Then they go into, then she's working on a garden and a wizard shows up and says that she needs to go on a quest. But then her boss puts her in prison, and then she's the president, and you're like, I suspect that either that's exactly what you're going to get, these sort of disconnected scenes with little bits of information in them, and maybe some references to previous scenes, but maybe genuinely not. Or the use of AI will be kind of limited, like it will generate broadly some kind of story, but it's probably mostly going to be based, same as the artwork, going to be based on what already has been pre-made, which is fine, that's just kind of procedural generation stuff, and then just put in certain character traits and other things into quote-unquote the gameplay, but we don't really see much gameplay in this. What we see are, again, these disjointed scenes and a bunch of dialogue. You scroll down, and like 90% of what you see is dialogue. You get some screenshots of menus, and you see... I just made my camera jump. And you see exactly one GIF here where an inventory is involved. That's it. That's all you see. And I don't suspect, and I wouldn't expect a project like this to have anything more to it. It's just, I basically just think it's neat that someone's going in this direction and trying to do it somewhat ethically with regards to using generative AI art. It's just that the end result is probably not going to be as nicely put together as a pitch video is going to be. Like, for a start, you sort of gave the game away a little bit by saying, yeah, we have a bunch of pixel artists on the team that, worked on this stuff, and they're working on the dataset. That all can be true, that all truly could be accurate, but also that sort of makes it pretty clear that all the stuff you see in your pitch video and all the stuff we see in the description and the GIFs and the screenshots none of that is probably AI generated. That's probably all just artwork made by your pixel artists. So we have no real concept of how well the actual AI generation aspect is going to work unless you provide some obvious, clear demo of it happening. Now, back to something I do like about this project. The fact that the use of AI has been, as far as I can tell, limited to, you know, the concept, the game, the generating of the game. They did not generate, like, concept art. Again, all of that has been made by actual artists. They did not generate the text, because I don't think ChatGPT, again, would be this annoyingly millennial about it. Like, I don't think ChatGPT created the characters of Daniel and Emily, who jokingly call each other Bob whenever they get home. Games are simple enough for the most casual gamer to enjoy, even grandma, and surprising enough to keep experienced gamers on their toes. Well, for one, shut up, and two, no, they're not. It's this, again, we don't see anything of the gameplay, but I highly doubt that that game is going to be an accurate, like, that's going to be an accurate description of the gameplay, because it's not possible for that to be an accurate description of the gameplay. The game you described does not exist. Grandma is not going to, except maybe if it's like that Mahjong game where you gotta connect tiles and then do all that stuff, because I suck ass at that, but my mom is really good. So I guess I maybe if the gameplay is entirely Mahjonged and Bejeweled based, you might have a point. Another thing that I kind of don't like about this project is the fact that the way the reward tiers work and the way the gameplay, the making of these things works, is you input credits. You can pay like $30 on this project and later on pay more to get 3 of these credits, and one of these credits will give you a single player game that you will generate, or a party mode game, which is the thing where you collaborate with a bunch of people and then generate a game together with all the parts of your story. But I kind of don't fully understand how that makes any kind of sense. Another aspect I don't really like about this, and this one isn't specific to this project, it's not specific to AI. Can we stop advertising, especially on Kickstarter, advertising our projects by saying, like, need a last-minute gift for someone? I understand what you were going for with that, but also, the project is currently live in May, and the expected delivery time for the product is December. You can't really do a last-minute gift like 6-7 months in advance. And generally speaking, I think it's a cool idea to generate these games and be like, oh look, some of my friends are in the game. That's woohoo, whippy, whip ha ha ha, right? And I don't think this kind of thing is going to be taking work away from real artists, especially again if the practice becomes that you need to use your own data sets, so you need to have people in-house making the art in the first place that then gets used to generate other art. That's all, fine with me. And I also don't think that this sort of thing is going to push out real artists from, certainly not from indie studios and the indie gaming sphere. Like, people like very specific artists and very specific kinds of visuals in their games that AI is simply not capable of capturing, and certainly not capable of inventing on its own. But I kind of don't vibe with trying to make that kind of a sentimental thing. Hey, I might have forgotten our anniversary, but look, all this stuff I know about you, kind of, because I let an AI fill in all the blanks. That's not exactly anything. I mean, I'm not opposed to a silly, half-sentimental gift. I mean, look at this guy. I love him. I love this guy. My partner gave this to me. It was a cute, simple, goofy gift, right? It's a plush made out of a picture of one of my cats. That's all it had to be for me to go, that's amazing. Meanwhile, if someone were to make a game like this for me, and I say make a game like me, order a game like this for me, if they told me, oh, I took like all this stuff and I sent it over to this company, and then they put all this stuff together into a game, I'd be like, that's cool. That's really fun. That's an interesting thing you did there. But if they then told me, instead they told me, yeah, I put all this stuff into an AI generator and had an AI generate like your dialogues and things you would say and our interactions, I would instead be like, thanks a lot. It's a minor, like, it's a slight, like, difference, slight change in implications that just leaves me going, probably would not be as excited. That's gonna do it for today's video. Leave a like and a comment letting me know how you feel about these projects. Do you think there's a future for these kinds of projects? Do you appreciate the fact that if I control F and look up the line, not just, I don't find shit. No, there are no not just lines. They don't try to sell you that it's not just the game. It's a moment in time. It is just the game. So, thank you for that. For not using ChatGPT for the entire project. I'll see you next time when I...
You want to do this? Hey, you can do this and make money. Just do this.
Hey, little bro. You studying? You studying for school? You want to get a real job? You want to go to college? You want to get a real job? You want to get an education? Go f*** yourself. Sit in front of my computer right now and start making me money, bitch. I don't even know what to tell you except